This video turned out to be much more information heavy than I expected, so to start, let's do a fun action clip and then we can cover all those details and end with another cool clutch moment. So here's that clip, enjoy. Oh shit. What the fuck? The hand crossbow is a strange sidearm to talk about in a video because so often it excels when you aren't shooting at someone, so not every clip that proves its worth is gonna be super flashy. It probably has the most utility of any weapon in the game, it's fairly inexpensive, it can be a one-hit kill, and yet it is a bit cumbersome and entirely dependent on your battle sense to be useful. The hand crossbow is a single slot special ammo weapon. It fires bolts that move in a ballistic trajectory, so you will need to account for drop over distance. It costs $30 hunt dollars and does 195 damage to the chest at 10 meters. The bolts also cause medium bleeding damage to hunters, which means a bolt to the chest is lethal out to about 15 meters. The hand crossbow also has a sighted range of 45 meters, which means nothing. This stat is an abstraction. New players take note to ignore this. As with the large crossbow, when you retrieve a bolt from a target, it does extra damage. The base damage of the retrieval is about 50, but the body multipliers apply. So pulling a bolt out of the head does more damage than pulling it out of a leg. This is a really effective way to stack damage on AI and bosses. It can kill hunters, but good luck remembering to run up and yank it out. I really don't know how else to phrase that. The hand crossbow has no variants unless you count the big crossbow, but its custom ammo can drastically change how it performs. The custom ammo options on offer are the poison bolt for $25, the chaos bolt for $10, and the choke bolt for $20. The primary use of the poison bolt is to quietly kill AI. It can instant kill immolators without detonating them, kill armoreds, and perhaps most useful, kill crows and ducks. That is, if the bolts feel like it. Don't get me wrong, most of the time the poison bolts work for this, and when it doesn't, it is almost certainly my aim, but you would think that a cloud of toxic gas would have a better area of effect.
What have you done?
What is this? That would work on any other crows.
No, that's all I have time for today.
So, pro tip, just as with dating advice in England, aiming at a specific bird rather than the whole flock is your best chance at success. Also, you can use poison to shut down doorways, guard bodies, and even kill players low on health. Poison bolts are exceptionally useful for killing the assassin, the butcher, and Scrapbeak, though the spider is immune to poison, and normal bolts work in that case. Speaking of immunity, meatheads are not immune to poison, so you can use poison bolts to kill those too. In summary, if you are taking the hand crossbow, you should almost certainly be taking poison bolts too, for the most utility. The chaos bolt is basically a miniature chaos bomb that has fewer reports but is still effective at simulating gunfire. It is best used to cover the sound of your own movement or divert enemy attention towards somewhere you aren't. I was trying to find the best way to show this off when I happened upon a moment by accident. I was playing solo, listening to a podcast, as you do, when I heard a team nearby.
Speech was, he was talking about this Chinese farmer, and Chinese farmer and his son, they're picking radishes about the ground.
But I was so engrossed hearing about Shia LaBeouf going through AA that I botched my own attempt at being anonymous.
30% of the radishes, their whole financial legacies.
Immediately, I shifted gears from stealth to chaos and began planning how to confuse the enemy. And key to that plan was using chaos bolts to send them away. so I could keep listening to my podcast.
Non-plus looks at his son. He goes, I don't know what this is, son. I don't know if it is a nightmare. I can't call it.
It has half the muzzle velocity of the other bolt options, sitting at 50 meters per second, which, given its ballistic trajectory, means it won't be able to go quite as far. Also, the Chaos Bolt can detonate barrels, so it has some lethal utility as well. And finally, the Choke Bolt launches choke bombs, which are useful for extinguishing burned allies, closing down doorways, and clearing poison clouds. It can also free up a tool slot if you want to take something other than choke bombs in your standard kit. As you can tell, the hand crossbow has many use cases depending on what you plan to use it for. In short, bringing the hand crossbow is almost as useful as subscribing to this channel. Are you kidding me, game? But regardless of your plans, one of the biggest weaknesses with the hand crossbow is its lengthy reload. 5 seconds is a long time, whether that's in a close range gunfight or the brief uncomfortable gap after your waiter says enjoy your meal and you accidentally say you too. You know what, can we get this to go? But thankfully, traits can help. Bolt Thrower reduces your reload time from 5 seconds down to around 2 seconds. This is crucial in those CQB situations where you need to get another shot off, or when an immolator yells that it found a target. Blade Seer allows you to see your bolts in dark sight. I've been using the hand crossbow regularly for weeks now, and have bought that trait maybe twice. It sounds useful, but I found the bolt visibility to be high enough that's not super necessary with this weapon. So, Bolt Thrower, yes, Blade Seer, eh. In addition to its reload, the biggest hurdles for the crossbow is the weird sight, which makes fighting at a distance pretty difficult, especially when you have to account for drop. Also, it has no penetration of any kind, so no wall bangs here and no arm penetration either. Unlike bullets, if you hit a hunter in the arm, it won't penetrate to the chest. Basically, you should fear limbs like it's a playthrough of the forest.
Run. Jesus!
And yet, despite its weaknesses, the crossbow is still a great sidearm. The one-hit kill potential can make you feel confident in close quarters fights. And the fact that it's a stealthy option means you can choose your engagements. However, be aware the hand crossbow is quiet, but it isn't silent. There are 2 sounds you need to worry about: the launch of the bolt and the bolt's impact. The audible range of the bolt's impact is about 25% further than the shot itself, so it's best not to squander those opportunities. The best advice I can give you is to use the tip of the arrow on your map icon to know your safe audible range. Within this radius, enemy hunters can probably hear your shot and almost certainly hear the impact, assuming the ambient conditions are pretty quiet. If they are listening to a podcast, however, you might have more wiggle room. And on the topic of audio, there's a small detail that I think is pretty cool. Sometimes when you pull out the hand crossbow, you can actually hear the sound of the springs vibrating, which I think gives the weapon a bit of character. So, that was a lot of information, but wrapping things up, the hand crossbow isn't the most reliable sidearm for kills in every situation, but it can be a good surprise for unsuspecting enemies. Its unmatched utility means it pairs well with most guns, especially those that are sufficient on their own, like the Vetterli or the Lebel. The silenced Nagant with poison ammo is a good alternative to the hand crossbow, but I think the hand crossbow still has more utility. Just like the Winfield C, the hand crossbow may be a starter weapon, but it gains more value as you learn more about the game. It's not a weapon that everyone will want to use, but it can teach everyone something about Hunt Showdown, which I appreciate. But anyway, that's enough of me talking. I'm gonna go sit in a bush and listen to John Bernthal, of all people.
Don't do it, I'm on my last bar of health. Oh my god.
The double.
That was insane. Okay.